Hey, what's going on, guys? So this is You Season 4, Part 1 review. I got a lot to say.
Yeah,
You liked it more than me, I think.
Yeah, I definitely did.
This video contains spoilers.
So the main thing that everybody's saying about the season that it was super different, and but 100% was.
Nah, it's like a different show then.
And my thing of it is that it was still good. Like, yes, it was different, but what it ended up being different, and like I still liked it. You know, Joe is still Joe. The narration, like he was telling me this, that the narration is the thing that probably makes it so most unique. And they kept that in there. Then they kept it in there more than in other seasons, especially at the beginning. For me, it's that I just love the character of Joe, and at the end of the day, he was still himself. And this is probably a season that he was the least bad guy-ish, because he only killed one person. It was like self-defense. He was actually trying to be a different person. Like in the other season, he kept saying it, but he was just capped immediately. I think that the thing that showed it the most is that he was actually trying to not be obsessed with Kate. You can tell he started getting feelings for her slowly, but that wasn't his intention. And he was like stalking her to protect her, and that was like a genuine thing that he was doing.
Yeah.
And even at the end, after everything happened, and you would actually expect for him to be like, all right, let's like go on a date. He still said no.
Yeah.
So I love that. I guess we're already on the topic. I actually really like Kate. I like Kate more than Marianne. Yeah, for sure.
Well, we'll talk about Marianne in a second because I do have some stuff to say about her.
Yeah. She's probably like a top 3 love interest so far. You know, I'm probably still putting Beck and Love ahead of her just because
I agree. And I think maybe towards the end of the season we'll know a little bit more about Kate. We can put her a little bit higher. But for right now, yeah, I would say she's top 3.
Yeah, and then all this stuff, you know, I like the fact that he was in London. I like the beard. I know it's random, but I think him having the beard made us more convinced that he's different. He's the different character.
Yeah, and I think that also added to why the show felt different. He feels like a different character. He feels like a more mature guy, straight up. Which I get that. I guess that's what they were going for. The fact that he's not killing. There's no like. This is stupid, but there's no like the glass thing. No cage.
Nah, that is a big thing.
Yeah.
I didn't even think about that.
There's no cage. It's just there's a few things that make it different, and the people are just completely different. British people, like I think that's probably the main reason why I felt so much different. Because like I mean, we're like living in the United States, so we're super used to like Americans. Yeah. But like that to me, it was like so different. Like seeing a completely different version of that, and you could really tell that Joe was an outsider.
I'm sorry that I said different a million times. My bad.
It was still good. That's the thing. Like it felt different, but it was still good. And so I don't really know how you can see that as a negative, because at the end of the day, shows have to evolve and they have to be different. You don't want the same thing. I think that's something that we always talk about. I think the show has been different every single time. And you want that. You don't want the same thing like, oh, he meets a girl, he likes her, then he kills her. Like you don't want that from every single series. And I think they've done a really good job of seeing Joe and throughout a bunch of different aspects. And we also got to remember, this character of Joe, this is a man that's been married. He's had a kid. He's had different relationships. He's a mature man. He's a man at this point.
You told me at this point, this man's had a crazy life.
Life, straight up. This man has lived the life of like a bunch of men, like literally, and you could tell because Joe just wants to get away from everything, and I think he's ready to like settle down, whether it's with someone, by himself, whatever. I also feel like maybe he thinks that he's not like he can't have someone because he knows that all the bad things that come with that.
Yeah, I think that going up to Marianne at the beginning of the season and her being so afraid of him and saying you're a killer, I think that was like the last big for me. He was like, I'm done.
And you know, now that you're on Marianne, yeah, that's got to be a negative of mine. Just a negative of not this season necessarily, but I think a negative of the show, all the seasons combined. It's like you introduce that character, you already develop her less than all the other love interests, and then what I was thinking was that they were going to develop that in this series, and they really haven't. I mean, she pulled up super fast, and she's helped in his evolution, like everyone was saying, with the character. But I don't think she's really made a huge impact, and that just kind of sucks, to be honest. I did want to see her explored more.
Yeah, because I don't mind her as a character. Yeah. We just minded her as such a big love interest. And what I would say is that maybe it's because people didn't really mess with her last season. They were like, all right, let's push it to the side. Or maybe they have other plans for her in the future.
Yeah,
it's what I would expect.
Because the thing with her, the way Joe was talking about her, he's like, this is the love of my life.
This is the one.
This is the one. Yeah, it's you. Like, she's the love of my life type shit. And it's like, that didn't work at all. To me, I didn't feel that. Yeah. You know, I felt more connected to Beck. I felt more connected to Love and even Kate. And I do like the character of Kate. I hope she doesn't die. Again, Abram and I keep talking about, do you think this is the one that he's gonna settle down with? And I'm not sure yet. You know, like everyone thinks he's just gonna die.
Yeah, that's the thing. Like this season starts opening up the idea of him having a redemption, but I don't know if that's possible. I think he has done so many bad things that I think it will leave a bad taste in everybody's mouth if he ends up having a happy end.
I think as a character, we're rooting for him and we would love that. But like, if you really sit down and think about it, I think he does deserve to die or go to jail. I think he might go to jail. I don't know if he's gonna die.
I think I prefer him to die.
Yeah,
because I think him going to jail would be kind of lame. Like keeping it a book. I think him sacrificing himself for love, for like the girl that he loves, I think that would be a cool ending. Because he will be satisfied with that. He will be like, oh, I died, but I died doing what I've been doing my whole life.
Another quick negative that I gotta say, I think there's just a lot of characters and they all kind of like feel super similar. Like Malcolm, Roald,
and I forgot his name, but Phoebe's boyfriend.
Like this is a lot. I think they introduced a lot of characters and they all felt super similar. Like to do Roald and Malcolm, just pieces of shit guys and shit. Like they felt super similar. And then like this and Phoebe's boyfriend, like he was American, but again, it was just a bunch of rich, spoiled people. And Phoebe was cool.
Yeah, right? I like Phoebe. And
then this girl, Gemma, annoying as hell, bro. Super, oh my gosh, that was like, dude, every season.
When she died, I was like,
I was like, gritty. It's funny because every season, like, there's like that one character who just can't wait to die. Like season 1's like Peach and stuff. But yeah, like I think that's a negative. I think they've done a bad job giving each of the characters personalities because I feel like all the personalities are the same.
Yeah, and I feel like they did a good job doing cliffhangers.
Yeah,
I remember I was watching it and I'm like, oh, I'm only gonna watch this episode, but then something happened at the end. I'm like, oh, I gotta watch the next one.
Yeah, like an example of that would be like when the police came to investigate him. You know what I'm talking about?
Oh, and that was cool. And then episode 4, when Kate was found the body, for a second I was convinced. I'm like, oh shoot, it's Kate.
Yeah, that would have been like I thought it was Kate too. Yeah,
a cool twist. And I guess we're gonna talk about the big twist of the season, who the stalker was. And first of all, I want to say that even if you didn't love who ended up being, I think the idea of somebody stalking him and him having like an opponent was cool.
That was interesting
because you saw him be the good guy. He like the other guy was the one doing like 4 killings. Everybody was against him, and it was cool for once for Kate when Kate was like, "Oh, what if you're the killer?" For him to be like, "It's not me," and he was actually right. But Riz,
Riz is crazy.
Yeah,
Reese.
How do you say it? Reese? So Reese is funny because like I would see when we saw him throughout the episodes, and he would pull up, talk a little bit, and I
just thought he was being chilling. Like
I thought he was just like this is one of the only normal guys. Which I guess sort of giving it away a little bit, the fact that he was the most different. But I can't even lie, when I saw that it was him, I was like, all right,
super water.
I didn't get mad, but I was like, oh, like I feel like we didn't have enough of a connection with him to like care so much.
Yeah.
Maybe in the second half of the season they built them up more character.
I think it would have been even better if it was like Marianne. We were talking about Ellie. Like you told me before the season started that it might.
Yeah, a lot of people were predicting Ellie, but we found out that she couldn't be in the season because she was recording Wednesday.
Hopefully she can come back, or Pago too. Even Pago would have been interesting.
Pago would have been insane.
Yeah,
like, I don't know, messing with Joe like that. I like the scene at the end when he was like talking to him and he tried to convince him, oh, I'm on your side, and that whole like I feel like a cool action scene. You know, him getting out of the what do you call it, the
handcuffs,
the handcuffs, and then him deciding to save Rose, like another moment of like redemption for him.
Yeah, that's another annoying character.
Yeah, horrible character.
I would say this though, you know, kind of going back to the point that I was making about the people being so different, like because you're in like London. Joe's super smart, right? But I think this season, he can't really quite figure out British people. So sometimes he like, you can tell that like he does it wrong. He goes about it the wrong way, and he like messes up.
I feel like he was getting caught way more.
Exactly, because I feel like the British people are so different that he just doesn't know how to work around them and stuff. So that was something like that I liked. That it was interesting. You never felt like he was on top. Like, you know what I'm saying? He was,
like, I know what I was to say. I guess we'll like end that off. I don't know if you have anything else.
No, I think I'm good.
But they were able to finish part 1 with like a good enough ending, and still like leave it open for like the second part of the season.
How do you feel about Netflix doing that in general? I know they did that with Stranger Things, right? That was probably the first time they did it.
I don't think it's that bad of an idea. With Stranger Things, it was able to create a lot of hype for the second part, and the fact that it's only 1 month in between, it's like a sweet spot of not too long for you to like forget about it and not care, and like just enough for you to like hype it up and have like theories and talk about it with your friends.
I think it's because like the weekly sort of thing, because most TV shows like HBO Max, Disney Plus, they're all weekly. And I think that they got to compete with that because I think at first Netflix was like super original, just dropping everything at once, and that made it unique. But now since everyone's going back to the weekly thing, I think they want to do something similar but still keep their essence. Do you have any predictions just to end it off? Do you have any predictions?
Any predictions? I have a theory that Kay's probably gonna die because I don't think that she's gonna end up with Joe. Just because it seems like too perfect, too predictable, maybe for it to work out. I believe that maybe Marianne's gonna play a part in the second half. I don't know exactly how, but I want her to.
Yeah,
because I feel like at this point you're introduced, you got to do something more of her. And I want to see like somebody from the past pull up somehow, like maybe to help him or against him.
We saw Love in the trailer, but obviously she's not gonna come back to Love.
Yeah, it's gonna be a ghost, but even just seeing her as like even as a ghost, I think it's still gonna be cool. A lot of people miss her. You know, she became like a fan favorite and for good reason.
Did she actually?
Yeah, I saw a lot of people saying like, "Oh, it sucks that Love died." Oh, she appears.
No, because I know how I felt about her, but I didn't know how other people felt. But
I remember like a pack will pull up.
Or I wish Ellie, because like Ellie's dead ass famous now. You know, like Jenna Ortega.
Nah, for sure. I think season 5, if she's open, she's gonna pull up.
Do you want them to date? Thank you guys so much for watching. Thank you guys so much for watching. Like, subscribe, comment. You know, let us know your predictions for next season.
Yeah, next month we're coming out with part 2 review.
Yeah. Peace out.